News Central now at this hour begins in Edo State, where the immediate past governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, has been indicted of 96 billion naira fraud committed while in office between 2023 and 2024. A forensic investigation of financial dealings of the immediate past administration in Edo State allegedly discovered that huge sums amounting to 96 billion naira were either mismanaged and or diverted to private accounts. On the 18th of December 2024, Edo State Governor Okpebholo set up an administrative panel of inquiry to investigate the financial dealings of the impeached 18 local government chairmen in Edo State from 4th September 2023 to November 2024. The chairman of the panel, Solomon Imohiosen, while submitting the report and recommendations to the Governor Okpebholo over the weekend, disclosed the findings. Solomon noted that the recommendations in the report aim to address these issues and promote transparency and accountability in the local government finances. And speaking through his chief press secretary, Fred Itwa, Governor Okpebholo vowed to petition the EFCC over its findings. Meanwhile, former Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, has described as nullity the panel report indicting him and 18 impeached local government chairmen of 96 billion naira fraud. He said the report was another desperate effort to justify Okpebholo's unconstitutional onslaughts on duly elected council executives. In a statement signed by his media aide, Crusoe Osagie, Obaseki noted that Governor Okpebholo does not have supervisory responsibility over local government and can therefore not set up investigative panel of government officials that are elected into office just like him. He advised Okpebholo to note that there are limits to his powers, as governor emphasizing that he is neither the Inspector General of Police nor the chairman of the EFCC. When I head to Osun State, where Governor Adeleke and the All Progressives Congress APC are at odds over a court ruling reinstating local government officials elected under the APC. Now, at a press conference, Adeleke accused Minister Boyega Oyetola of colluding with security agencies to enforce the ruling, calling it a plot to destabilize the state. He insisted the ruling lacked legal grounds. In response, the Osun's APC dismissed the claims as blackmail, urging Adeleke to seek legal redress. Spokesperson Kola Olabisi said the reinstatement was lawful and must be upheld. Both sides remain firm, raising tensions over the enforcement of the judgment. And now to security matters, where the Nigerian police says it has killed a total of 7 terrorists in recent operations across the country. And the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, disclosed this in a statement issued on Sunday. ACP Adejobi noted that 23 firearms and assorted ammunitions were also recovered by men of the force in the operations. He said the operations were part of efforts to dismantle criminal networks and enhance internal security. Adejobi assured members of the public that the operations will continue with renewed vigor to ensure a safer environment for all Nigerians. Still staying with security matters, the Nigeria Police Force has intensified its fight against violent crimes, neutralizing 9 terrorists and recovering 23 firearms in recent operations. On February 14th, police in Kebbi rescued a kidnapped victim after a gun battle in Tundafari Forest. 4 kidnappers were killed, 1 arrested, and 3 million naira in ransom money was recovered. In Imo State, security forces raided an IPOB ESN camp on February 8th, eliminating 2 kingpins and seizing weapons. A follow-up operation on February 9th led to the deaths of 3 more terrorists. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun praised the officers, urging increased intelligence gathering and public cooperation to sustain the fight against crime. In Kwara State, men of the police force have arrested a 29-year-old Islamic teacher for the alleged murder of Yetunde Lawal, a final-year student at Kwara State College of Education. The said cleric denied involvement in the victim's death, stating that she was his girlfriend. According to him, Yetunde had mentioned attending an event at 1 p.m. that day, but returned at after 3 p.m. He said she told him she was hungry, prompting him to go out and buy food for her. However, upon his return, he allegedly found her gasping for breath. Yetunde Lawal was reported missing on February 11th, a day after she failed to return home. Her remains were later discovered in the cleric's residence, where police disclosed that they also found fetish items alongside Yetunde's body, casting doubt on the claims of the suspect. Ismail Tanko Wudulawa, a retired Joint Task Force JTF commander, has accused foreign authorities of funding insurgency in Nigeria. And this comes on the heels of claims by U.S. lawmaker Scott Perry that United States Agency for International Development, USAID, is allegedly sponsoring acts of terrorism worldwide, including in Nigeria. Wudulawa, who was responding to the claims of the U.S. congressman, agreed that there are visible signs of foreign involvement in Nigeria's security crisis, particularly in the tactics and operations of Boko Haram terrorists. He noted that the insurgents possess advanced military training, sophisticated weaponry, and other forms of support that could only come through external partnerships. He called on both the Nigerian government and the public to remain vigilant and patriotic in safeguarding the lives and sovereignty of its citizens. The House of Representatives has dismissed bribery allegations against its members, reaffirming its commitment to transparency and accountability. House spokesman Akintunde Rotimi urged Nigerians to rely on verified facts, not recycled claims aimed at discrediting public officials. The allegations came from a Binance official who claimed 3 lawmakers demanded bribes during investigation into the crypto exchange. Rotimi stated that the affected members denied the claims, with one already pursuing legal action. He also revealed that Nigeria rejected financial settlement offers from Binance, prioritizing national interest. For the case now in court and under diplomatic review, the House said it will refrain from further comment. And to talk about this, we're joined by a political affair analyst, and that's Taiwo Ojumu. Good evening, glad to have you join me on the news.
Good evening, my pleasure.
All right. Let me kick off by asking what you make of the response by the House of Representatives to the bribery allegation. Do you find the denial credible in any way?
Well, if you ask me, despite the fact that the American, Mr. Gambarian, did not substantiate his allegation, but then this is Nigeria. It is not strange for us to see instances where officials attempt or seek bribe from to provide justice. So it's not strange. I'm not in any way insinuating that the allegations are true or false. I'm not trying to go into veracity or otherwise with the allegation. But this is Nigeria, of course. These things happen all the time.
Having said that, do you think this allegation might impact Nigeria's regulatory stance on cryptocurrency platforms like Binance, for instance?
Well, it depends on the outcome. If eventually it is determined by the court that of a truth, these allegations are true, then of course it means Nigeria is joking. It means Nigeria is not serious about its fight. Our fight against corruption. Yes, but like I said, it depends heavily on the outcome. If these lawmakers are cleared eventually of or any form of allegation, of bribery, then one can say Nigeria means business. But if the contrary holds true, then it can impact a whole lot on Nigeria's fight, at least in the eye of the international committee.
Now, beyond the impact this may have on Nigeria and the international committee, with one lawmaker taking legal action now, what legal implication could these cases have now for both Binance and the Nigerian government?
Well, if you ask me, this might be another roller coaster. It might be another long, complicated case. Like I did say when I was trying to answer the last question, it will still severely depend on the outcome of the case. If the lawmaker who has gone to court is cleared of any allegation, then that will would impugn on the integrity of the Binance aide. I mean, do have made that allegation, but then, like I said, it's going to be a long day in court, and I hope that we will get to the very end of this. But at the end of the day, the outcome the outcome is what will determine whether it has any meaningful implication.
Okay, let's talk about the House now. They mentioned Nigeria rejecting financial settlement offers from Binance. What really does this reveal about the government's strategy in handling issues like this?
Well, again, if that claim is true, I mean Nigerian, and so I'm a strong believer in Nigeria. So I don't want to sound pessimistic here. But if the allegation is anything to go by, then it's actually a good one. It's a right step at the right direction. It means Nigeria is firm with his with our fight against corruption. If Nigeria can actually what's it called? What's it called? Refuse to be negotiate. To refuse to negotiate bribery. It's like I said, it's a good step at the right direction. If that claim is anything to go by.
Do you see this case affecting Nigeria's diplomatic relations with the U.S., United States, given its involvement in the Binance controversy?
Well, again, this is neither here nor there. But by way of personal opinion, I don't think it will affect the relationship between Nigeria and the United States in terms of our diplomatic relationship. Because if you look at the statement credited to Secretary of State, I think Anthony Blinken on Thursday, when Mr. Gambrian was released, he said that this has showed some kind of shared commitment between Nigeria and the United States. So I don't think that would impact in any way to affect the diplomatic ties between Nigeria and America. Meanwhile, we also recall that one of the reasons why the American was released was because of the promise made by America that they can always assist Nigeria in trying to make more. Using AI to investigate these allegations of corruption and money laundering as it affects by now. So I think the matter was handled well. I don't think it will have any negative impact moving forward on the relationship between the diplomatic ties between Nigeria and America. I sincerely doubt that.
Well, it simply means we do have to just wait and see how things unfold. Well, thank you so much for your insight on the news. Taiwo Ojomo, political affairs analyst, many thanks indeed.
Yeah, thank you for having me once again.
We now head to Osun State, where Governor Ademola Adeleke and the All Progressives Congress APC are at odds over a court ruling reinstating local government officials elected under the APC.
I invite you all to expose a faceless anti-democratic agenda designed to enforce a non-existing court judgment on our local government. This evil plot is being spearheaded by the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola, in active collaboration with Osun State Commissioner of Police, the Osun State Director of DSS, and the State Commandant of the Civil Defense Corps. I therefore appeal to Mr. President, who is a renowned Democrat, to insist on the rule of law by instructing the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of DSS, the Commandant General of Civil Defense Corps not to obey an illegal order from his nephew, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola. The Osun State Security Chiefs should also be called to order. I call on Mr. President to instruct the National Security Advisor and the Attorney General of the Federation to personally verify the fact the Court of Appeal judgment did not reinstate the sacked local government chairmen and councillors. And in fact,
Kaduna PDP says legislators' defection unconstitutional once seats declared vacant. Details of these and more shortly. Join us again. Thank you for staying tuned. A former Kaduna North Senator Suleiman Uthman Honkoyi has urged Northerners not to be swayed by politicians working against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the 2027 election. Honkoyi, who recently defected to the APC, was reacting to remarks by former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai. He said the North could not afford to oppose Tinubu's leadership. At a mega rally in Kaduna, Governor Obasanjo welcomed over 200,000 defectors into the APC, assuring them of equal right. He emphasized the party's growing popularity and pledged inclusive governance. Key political figures, including former Governor Mukhtar Yero and Senator Shehu Sani, were among those who joined the ruling party. The PDP in Kaduna State has described the defection of 3 members of the State House Assembly and a member of the House of Representatives as unfortunate and a betrayal of the trust placed in them by the people. The 4 legislators from Kaduna State dumped the PDP to join the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. In a statement issued by the party's publicity secretary in the state, Maria Dogo, the PDP said the defection of the lawmakers to APC was unacceptable and unconstitutional, asking them to vacate their seat with immediate effect. They urged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to declare vacant the seats of the 4 defectors. They also called on the speakers of the House of Representatives and the Kaduna State House Assembly to declare the seats of defectors vacant and notify INEC to conduct by-elections. The Delta PDP is currently embroiled in a severe political crisis, with recent developments providing further insight into the situation. The Speaker of the Delta State House Assembly, Emomotimi Guwa, has refuted a media report that 10 members of the House elected under the platform of the PDP are set to defect to the APC. Our correspondent, Osun, who is monitoring the unfolding political developments in the oil-rich Niger Delta State, now reports.
The PDP in Delta State seems not to have put its house in order following the internal crisis that rocked the party after Senator Ned Nwoko, a member representing Delta North Senatorial District in the National Assembly, defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, citing irreconcilable divisions and fractionalization within the party. At a plenary session presided over by the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Momotimi Gowo, the Speaker enjoined Deltans, particularly PDP faithfuls in the states, to discountenance media reports that 10 members of the House elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party are set to dump the party for the All Progressives Congress. He stated that the 22 members of the PDP currently serving as legislators in the State Assembly are solidly loyal to the party's ideas, pointing out that the intention of the rumor mongers is to heat up the polity in the states.
I don't think there is any member from the PDP that intends to join the APC in Delta State. Of course, we all know that the PDP in Delta State is very strong, intact, and our people are very, very happy with the present government as led by His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori.
Similarly, chairman of PDP in the state, Solomon Areyinka, reacted to the recent defections from the state PDP and the party's future prospects, said the party is not afraid of defectors because founding members play politics of ideology.
Let me put it on record that there is no party without a crisis, because politics is interests. We have seen defections in the party, but I make bold to say that as a party in this state, we are not too afraid of defections. Defections started long ago, so we are not too bothered. But that is not to say that we are keeping our flanks open. As people are going, people are also coming into PDP.
As the party's plan for the upcoming general elections in the state and beyond, the party's unity and potential strategies to prevent further defections will remain sacrosanct in the coming days. In Asaba News Central, Austin Azu.
And for context, we're joined by PDP chieftain in Delta State in person of Dr. Ayo Adebanjo, and he joins us live from Delta State. Good evening, glad to have you join me on the news.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Dr. Ayo Adebanjo.
Okay.
I'll correct you for the in time.
All right, thank you for that. That's noted. Let me kick off by asking, first, it was the defection of one senator. Now we're hearing of allegation of defection of 10 assembly lawmakers. Would you say these developments are not suggestive of imminent tracks within the ranks of the party in the state?
Honestly, this question, what I say is not realistically in Delta PDP right now. But let me explain to you. Presently, like I said before,
Dr. Oke, are you there? Okay, we lost you for a second there. If you can just recapture your thoughts again.
Okay, there is no crack in Delta PDP. And the allegation, rumor that 10 House members want to decamp is not true. Like I said before, we have a stronger PDP today under the leadership of Governor Okpebholo, and anyone troubleshooting to see our reaction, like the Speaker has said in the House of Assembly, the Speaker, Right Honorable Momotivi Guo, has said, there is no iota of truth in that rumor. I make bold to tell you this evening that Delta PDP, there is no crack. We are one united family. The senator that decamped, I earlier stated, has no structure of his own. The PDP gave him magnanimity to run under the structure. Now he has decamped. Watch that 2027. We are reclaiming that seat emphatically. In the 3 Central District, we will win the elections. The House of Assembly we have is intact. No allegation of decamping, no iota. There's no reason to, because the more agenda is a way of life in Delta State right now. We are coasting to victory in 2027. It will be PDP all the way in Delta. Delta State is the home of PDP in Nigeria right now. So I wonder where these guys are getting their rumors from.
Dr. Oke, just to follow your train of thought, if you say all is well within your party and the state, some persons are saying this would have a ripple effect. You know, these internal wrangling, you know, would have an effect or impact, you know, on the political party. What do you say to that?
There is no internal wrangling in PDP Delta State. I keep saying it. PDP Delta, under leadership of the current governor, is in safer hands. The performance of the governor is also a teamwork between legislature and the judiciary and the executive. So if the legislatures are not intact, we can't have development in Delta. Remember, our governor won the best governor of the year recently, and I keep saying that. He has won several awards recently. So right now, there is no internal wrangling. We are consolidating. The campaign must happen. Party is like a church. Realistically, it's like a church. Free entry, free exit. But as we speak, the PDP in Delta is not scared of the campees. But there is no truth in the information that 10 assembly members are leaving the party. There is no reason for it. There is no iota of truth in that matter. So I make sure to tell you again that we are one happy family. The PDP led by the governor and the state chairman, Chief Solomon Arinka, and the speaker, we are playing a teamwork. And the teamwork leads to a goal. If anybody is telling you that the PDP is having wrangling in Delta, no. The man that left, we are not missing him because we are revamped the party in that central district and we're coming out stronger. I keep telling the world, who cares to know, that remember the man said the word, that our governor is unpopular. A governor that won the governor of the year, a governor that is doing massive construction and development in Delta. You can say it's unpopular. He said a governor of excuses, a governor that is supervising the project is doing in line with the House of Assembly, and they're working in tandem, in unison, to take that to greater heights. So this This information, they are falsehood, and they are not obtainable anywhere in Delta. I repeat again, PDP Delta is in for landslide victory 2027. And such rumor making us stronger, bringing us more together. We have no reason to panic, not to fret, because we are PDP. We are PDP citizens, Delta citizens, and Delta is PDP, PDP is Delta. If you want to find out, you can find out from Azu himself, who is a correspondent here. Well, Delta PDP is intact.
We do appreciate you for making our time to speak with us on the news. Thank you so much for your insight once again, Dr. Oke. Many thanks for your perspective.
It's my pleasure for having me. Thank you.
48 hours after the demise of Ayo Adebanjo, the national leader of the Yoruba socio-cultural group Afenifere, dignitaries have continued to flock his residents to pay tribute and condole with the family. News Central's Igbalani Yomoni has more.
Ayo Adebanjo, the renowned Afenifere national leader, has passed away, leaving behind a legacy of fighting for justice and equality. As news of his demise spread, dignitaries from various walks of life have been trooping in to pay their last respect and condole with the family. 2 days after his passing, the influx of visitors continues, with major political and religious figures, government officials, friends and family members all coming to honor his memory. Today, notable visitors included Pastor E.A. Adeboye, Peter Obi, Gbadebo Road Survivor, and Eunice Tanko, amongst others, who shared stories and reflections on Pa Adebanjo's enduring legacy.
Our nation, Nigeria, have lost something very, very, very important. Somebody who fearlessly, courageously fought for justice, fairness, and what is right. And most importantly, remain consistently consistent to the end.
He's like a father to me, and I must confess how he supported my administration, despite the fact that we didn't at that time belong to the same political party. That underscores the fact that this is a man of principle, and he exhibited that to the end.
He's unapologetically consistent, and that is something that is so rare in today's politics, and it's something that sets the light on a path for that it's okay to stand your ground. It's okay to stand for something, because people will remember you for that thing, and that's what we are seeing today.
He's really the father of all, so he has children across board who would step up, both from within the family and outside. You have various people. I mean, he's done the best in educating us to the best of his ability. It's now really up to us, and we would see, as they say, fortune favors the brave, so we just have to assert our own marks individually.
Former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, alongside Afenifere groups, has been celebrating Pa Adebanjo's life and contributions to Nigerian society, acknowledging his tireless effort to promote unity, justice, and progress.
We'll remember him for his great courage, for his dedication to the region, and to all national causes that he participated in. We pray that his memory will always be blessed.
He was a great leader of Afenifere, a destabilized Nigerian, not perturbed by sentiment nor peculiar gains. He was truly a trench man, a great and formidable papa. You had fought the good fight.
As the nation mourns the loss of this iconic leader, his family and loved ones take comfort in the outpouring of support and tributes from across the country. In Lagos, for News Central, Igbalani Omni.
Pan-Igbo groups led by Anyandi Igbo have paid tribute to late Afenifere leader Chief Ayo Adebanjo. The groups, in a joint statement, described Pa Adebanjo as a leader whose dedication to justice and equity shaped the moral compass of the Nigerian society. They acknowledged Pa Adebanjo's principles of fairness as a major attribute that earned him the respect of those who valued the common good over personal or ethnic interests. The tribute also highlighted Adebanjo's ability to remain a beacon of wisdom and integrity despite the challenges of ethnic divides in the country. The tribute read in part, "God bless him with long life. He used it to do God's work by speaking the truth without being compelled or induced to." Chief Adebanjo, it was noted, could have chosen to remain silent in his later years, but he chose to continue advocating for what was right, even in the face of adversity. The tribute was signed by prominent Pan-Igbo groups, including Anyandigo, Akai Kenga Igbo Leaders of Thought, Nzuko Umuna, World Igbo Congress, WIC, among others. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has dismantled a trans-border drug trafficking syndicate. This was made known in a statement signed by the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday. Femi said operatives of the agencies discovered substance worth millions of naira hidden in vehicle compartment, while others were disguised as auto spare parts. One of the suspects was intercepted with 404.47 grams of methamphetamine, 506.49 grams of loud, and 206.32 grams of dimethyl hidden inside a black bag filled with auto spare parts. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has sealed over 3,000 shops in Lagos Idumota open drug market in a major crackdown on counterfeit pharmaceuticals. In a statement on Saturday, NAFDAC reviewed that officials uncovered expired medicines, banned drugs, and vaccines stored in unsafe conditions. The raid also exposed diverted HIV antiretroviral drugs and illegal revalidation of expired medicines. 12 truckloads of illicit drugs were seized as part of NAFDAC's renewed efforts to clean up Nigeria's drug market. The agency says it remains committed to protecting public health by eliminating dangerous and counterfeit medications from circulation. Coming up, African Union urges respect for DRC's sovereignty as M23 rebels advance. These and more shortly. Join us again. Thank you for staying with us. The news continues in East Africa, where Winifred Binyanyima, wife of imprisoned Ugandan opposition leader Kizza Besigye, has expressed profound concern over her husband's health as he continues his hunger strike. Besigye, facing charges of threatening national security, is currently on trial in a military court. Binyanyima described these charges as trumped up, highlighting the political nature of the proceedings. She fears for Besigye's well-being, noting his deteriorating health and lack of adequate medical care. Besigye, a prominent critic of President Yoweri Museveni's nearly 40-year-old, has been a center figure in Uganda's opposition movement. His ongoing hunger strike has drawn international attention, with calls for his immediate release and improved treatment.
Not been eating, he's only drinking water. He was last seen at court on Tuesday, and he looked very frail and dehydrated. I'm very worried about his condition now. So there is no law under which he's detained today, but the president has defied the courts and said he doesn't agree with the Supreme Court ruling. He's talked with his members of parliament, who are the majority in parliament, and he's asking them to reverse the decision of the Supreme Court through a law, which is also illegal.
We now move to Central Africa, where the African Union, AU, has issued a strong warning against the potential breakup of DRC following the entry of Rwanda-backed M23 armed group into the heart of Bukavu, the DRC's second-largest city in the eastern region. Bankole Adeoye, the EU's Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, emphasized the importance of upholding the DRC's sovereignty, political unity, and territorial integrity during a press conference at the AU summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. We now cross over to Ethiopia. The clear agenda of the Nigerian delegation at the AU summit shows the country's commitment to the AFCFTA investment and inclusive growth, signaling a determination to play a leading role in the continent's economic transformation. Now, at the ongoing summit in Ethiopia, the AU Commission recognized President Bola Tinubu for his role in promoting implementation of digital trade on the continent. Our correspondent, Bongani Sisiba, who is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, has more updates.
And also good evening to all. Yes. Evening to you, Adebola, and also good evening to all viewers. Yes, the African Union Summit has come to a close here with leaders and representatives from across Africa gathering here just to discuss those critical issues ranging from trade, investment, security, and sustainable development. But one delegation that really made its presence felt is Nigeria, with a strong contingent of government officials, business leaders, and also experts. Nigeria here really positioned itself as a key player in shaping the continent's future out of these discussions on driving economic growth and also fostering intra-Africa trade. But I'm here with Honorable Dr. Jumeke Aduele, Nigerian Minister of Trade and Investment, just to get her insight on Nigeria's priorities here at the summit. Minister, thank you for joining us here at News Central TV. What has been your takeout away from this summit?
Thank you. I just listened to the report from the AFCFTA champion, the AU AFCFTA champion, the former president of Niger, Mohamedou Issoufou, delivering his annual report on AFCFTA activities. And I'm particularly excited because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got a commendation from the AU for his role in promoting the implementation of digital trade.
And how does Nigeria plan to leverage existing after economic community, especially to the West Africa?
So as you know, digital trade is an area that is catalytic for young Africans. Mr. President indicated in South Africa last year his willingness to support and to lead the implementation of that protocol. That protocol is a unique one. The champion, the FCFTA champion, also spoke about that. It's a unique one. The world is behind Africa. Africa is the first continent to have a digital trade protocol. And the 8 annexes were concluded, and that report was just adopted before I came out of the hall just now. So this means that young Africans in the tech space, whether it's fintech or edutech, whatever kind of digital infrastructure they need, we're now fully enabled to encourage them. Nigeria is pushing exports of trade. 9 unicorns in Africa, 5 of them emanate from Nigeria. So I'm particularly excited by the commendation that my president received here today.
And what's your assessment so far of the AfTA, especially in African countries? Do you think the African countries have opened enough for business, especially their borders when it comes to visas, so that we can trade amongst ourselves?
In terms of trade, you know, it's been 5 years now. It's been progressing steadily, and this is actually an inflection point, the 5-year mark. Nigeria started its implementation review earlier in the year in January, and this is the year that every country has to review at the 5-year mark. The champion was just speaking about the number of signatories. 48 countries have ratified the agreement. It's time for big economies to leverage, whether in trade in goods, trade in services, to really do more trading, more intra-African trade, and to promote and support our MSMEs in particular, our young people, our women. These are some of the areas that are unique to that agreement, different from others in the world. This is a bespoke agreement for Africans, and Nigerians are going to take full opportunity to optimize that. So I'm very excited about that.
Obviously, it has its obstacles. What are those?
Its obstacles come in form of regulations. We're trying to synergize. It comes in form of payment. So you know that the Afrexim Bank has its payment solution so that people can use cards and you're paying in your local currency wherever you are. It has trade facilitation challenges. So the Nigerian head of customs will be hosting all customs heads in Abuja this year, and it has challenges like public digital infrastructure. So Nigeria has a project on its national single window. These are where Africans need governments to support, and these are some of the issues that are discussed here today.
And how is Nigeria?
Darling, we have to go now. Thank you so much for that interview at the 38th African Union Summit there in Ethiopia. Thank you, Bongani. Now let's connect you with the package on business news.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, is set to diligently prosecute manufacturers and distributors of substandard steel products in the country. This was declared by the chairman, Special Task Force, SON, Enebi Onuchenyo, recently in Abuja. Onuchenyo stated that the agency has been inundated with complaints from distributors over the poor quality of steel and iron rods in the country. According to him, in response to the complaints, SON embarked on aggressive nationwide monitoring and were able to track some of the criminals. He said based on findings, 2 steel companies were found non-compliant with the requirements of the Nigerian Industrial Standards NIS 117 and Global Best Practices, and so they have been shut down. Onuchenyo warned that any steel manufacturer caught circumventing quality assurance requirements henceforth will be prosecuted in line with the SON Act 14 of 2015. The Center for Public Accountability, in collaboration with other civic groups, has called for an investigation into alleged financial misconduct within the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. The organization alleges that 7.7 billion naira was misappropriated without the necessary approvals in violation of procurement regulations. In a statement issued on Saturday, CPA Executive Director Dr. Ebenezer Oladapo accused the Executive Secretary of the NCDMB of authorizing the expenditure without following due process. The CPA stated that the amount exceeded the approval limits set by the Ministerial Tenders Board and raised concerns about the payments being processed through the Central Bank of Nigeria, warning that such practices undermine President Bola Tinubu's anti-corruption agenda and efforts to promote accountability in public institutions. The price of domestic paddy rice has been projected to rise by approximately 50% year-on-year this year, despite the imposition of the 150-day import waiver introduced by the federal government to reduce the price of food in the country. The projection is part of the AFEX 2025 Annual Commodities Review and Outlook Report, an index methodology made available at the weekend. The report revealed that paddy rice witnessed price growth of 6% owing to India's export restrictions, seasonal supply tightness, and the adverse impact of El Nino on global rice production. However, it revealed that the price eased towards the end of the year as India lifted its ban on rice exportation. Africa's leading commodities player also predicts price stabilization for staple grain commodities like maize, soybean, and sorghum amidst record food inflation in Nigeria. Finally, Libya Post, the national postal service provider, has successfully held its 3rd public auction for rare stamps and coins, attracting collectors from within the country and beyond. The event, which showcased a diverse collection of historical and valuable items, is part of ongoing efforts to promote philately and numismatics in Libya. The auction featured an extensive range of rare collectibles, including special edition Arab stamps, historical artifacts from the Libyan kingdom era between 1952 and 1969, and rare currencies from various countries. And that's all on business news. I am Lekon Onabanjo.
And now time for today's sport news.
In the world of sport, the African Boxing Union has disbanded the West African Boxing Union over alleged misconduct. The decision was announced in an executive meeting in Lagos, chaired by ABU President Auchin Auchi, with General Secretary Maureen Mulangira and other officials present. The move follows serious allegations against Wabu's leadership, including blackmail, financial misappropriation, intimidation, and match fixing. Abu has referred the case to his Ethics and Disciplinary Committee for further investigation. Auchi urged promoters and stakeholders to sever ties with Wabu, warning that any dealings with the body would be deemed illegal. Nigerian Football Federation President Ibrahim Guzo has received a prestigious award for his contributions to youth development. The honor was handed to him in Lagos by former President of Liberia, George Weah, courtesy of Primate Ayodele Elijah. The award highlights Guzo's leadership in Nigerian football, particularly in grassroots development. Since becoming Nigerian Football Federation President in 2022, he has introduced innovative policies and people-focused approach, revitalizing the federation. His achievements include advancing Nigerian football and launching a 2030 vision to enhance grassroots programs. The ceremony was attended by associates and supporters, recognizing Guzo's impact on the sport. Defending champions Enugu Rangers ended Remo Stars' 8th match unbeaten run with a 2-1 victory, breaking into the top 3 of the league standings. The match in Enugu saw Isaac Xavier open the scoring with a stunning free kick from over 25 meters in the 30th minute. Kingsley Maduforo doubled the league early in the second half, finishing off a pass from Kenneth Iboke in the 49th minute. Remo Stars fought back and substitute Aruna Hadi pulling one back in the 89th minute, but it was too late to salvage a point. The Flying Antelope statement win tightens their league race, dealing a blow to Remo Stars' title hope while boosting Rangers' championship defence. Liverpool extended a Premier League lead to 7 points with a tense 2-1 victory over Wolves at Anfield. Luis Diaz ended a 10-game goal drought, netting early to put the Reds ahead. Mohamed Salah doubled the advantage with a first-half penalty, taking his season tally to 28 goals. Matheus Cunha pulled one back for struggling Wolves, but Liverpool held on despite a nervous finish. The win follows a disappointing week, including FA Cup exit and a draw against Everton. Finally, in the world of sport, Uganda's Jacob Kiplimo made history by becoming the first athlete to run a half marathon in under 57 minutes, setting a new world record of 56 minutes 42 seconds in Barcelona. The 24-year-old shattered Ethiopian Yomiv Keyelche's previous mark of 57 minutes 30 seconds, achieving the biggest single improvement in the event history. Kiplimo also set a world best of 39 minutes 47 seconds for 15 km during the race, held in an ideal 13 degrees Celsius conditions with no wind. The former Olympic and World Championship bronze medalist dominated the field, with compatriot Geoffrey Kamworor finishing second in 58 minutes 44 seconds, and Kenya's Samuel Mailu coming in third at 59 minutes 40 seconds. Kiplimo's performance meant his status as one of the best premier long-distance runners. And that's it in the world of sport. I am Onyinyechi Obaro.
And that's all on the news. Let's take a look again at some of the major stories. Former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki cries foul as Edo State panel of inquiry accuses him of 96 billion naira fraud. Governor Adeleke has accused APC of attempt to destabilize Osun State over court ruling reinstating local government officials elected under the APC. We also told you that the African Union says DR Congo's sovereignty must be respected as Rwanda-backed M23 rebels advance. You can watch Central live on DSTV, channel 422, Star Times, channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Adebola Adiduba. It's goodbye.